I'm Paulina Macías, and I'm currently working as a Sustainability and Social Innovation Coordinator at Chevez, Ruiz, Zamarripa. Well, actually, what I wanted to do is I've always been working on the other side, meaning the social enterprise. And we always ended up coming across different challenges and issues that would have been avoided if we had the correct advice from a legal point of view or a tax point of view. So now that I'm working at a law firm, what I wanted to do is understand what are those needs and how can we use what we best know how to do as a force for good in a way, and not just do pro bono work that it's just like solving little issues, but more in a systemic way. So I came here to listen to people's needs, and be able to turn that into an impact strategy for the law firm. Well, first, understanding what they had been doing for the past 40 years. So this is a really big law firm that knew a way of doing things more in a philanthropic kind of way. So it wasn't really connected with their core business. And you know, pro bono work in law firms, at least in Mexico, it's really more for foundations, or you know, like it's not really directed to social enterprises. They actually are really new to those terms. So what I wanted to do is first understand what and why have they doing it that way, and then be able to come with different perspectives from the social entrepreneurship world. And yeah. Well, you know, first I would like to create bridges between those, for example, impact incubators or accelerators that are always working with social entrepreneurs, and actually those social entrepreneurs are receiving investment and they need legal guidance, right? So in order to protect the social entrepreneur's vision of the business, they need to be able to understand how they're gonna shield themselves from, you know, when they're raising capital, if it's equity or whatever, they need to be able to understand how to protect what was the original mission of the company. So first, that way. Also here in Mexico, we have a really big challenge that are the social entrepreneurs normally have a hybrid. So they have a non-profit and they also have a for-profit organization. So being able to work with those in a way that they avoid a tax issue, it's really tricky, and we don't have benefit corporations here right now. So what I'm trying to do is help them with that, because at some point they might come across some challenge. So right now, and for what I'm listening, that's a big issue. And also working with grants. So, you know, they can either receive direct investment or get grants. And here, that's a tax challenge, a big one. So how do we help them grow that impact by doing it correctly or in a more sustainable way? So I was there for 2.5 years as a business development manager, and I loved it because when I got there was because I worked in a startup that got B certified, and that was my project. So I was able to see how the B Corp certification can actually transform a business DNA, and it can impact positively on the people we work there. So I started my career at Sistema B Mexico, and when I was entering there was around 70 B Corps, Mexican B Corps, and when I left, it was around 100 or so. And I think one of the biggest things that happened was that Danone entered the market here, and they were able to certify as well. So we got one of the biggest B Corps in Mexico, and that could be a huge thing because whatever they're doing with their supply chain can impact positively all the other B Corps, right? So if you're trying to benefit B Corps in a way, and a big multinational B Corp gets here, then that's start to build some systemic change in a way. And what we wanted to do is we don't really have a lot of B certified law firms. So we wanted to see if we could be one of the first. Here in Mexico we have one, but it's it's not that big, and Latin America only has a couple more. So we believe it's really important to have more law firms that are actually going through that process and aiding others and guiding their clients to get there. Actually, the law firm I'm at, our top 50 clients are multinational companies. So they're starting to come across different issues related to, like EU regulation that talks about traceability, or making sure you don't have any child labor on your supply chain. And so we're supposed to be able to help them make sure they don't have any of those wrong practices across their entire supply chain. So first of all, getting to know the issue, understanding how we can avoid being a part of that, and then advising our clients on that. And the Mexican market right now is starting, well, a long time ago, but it's more common right now to issue green bonds, blue bonds, like gender equality bonds. So they weren't really sure what they're supposed to disclose with the use of funds. So the firm also wants to understand and be able to advise in an anti-greenwashing way how to do that and use those funds correctly. So, and also, of course, being able to link them with, B Corps or other social enterprises that might be what's actually going to be able to solve whatever issue they might be having right now with their local supplier, because maybe they are not complying with what they're supposed to be complying with. I think you've had a lot of these maybe on the outside, but for me, one of the ones that I really, really liked is whatever's related to vegan diets, because I believe that in Latin America, we're really about tradition and the dishes that we eat. So being able to challenge that as a status quo is really hard. So we've got a B Corp that was our first unicorn, B Corp unicorn from Chile, Notco. I don't know if you've heard of them, but I know you've got some of these big companies there. And they're getting here at the first, and for me that's a really cool story, because they've got B2C products, but as well a B2B service. And what they're doing, they're using artificial intelligence to replicate whatever that's animal-based dish, but only with plant-based products. And whoever's being their biggest customer are actually the places where you go to eat meat. So what they want to do is have a really good vegan dish that tastes basically the same as the other one. So there are some opportunities here, and I think that social entrepreneurs are being able to leverage them.